On this week's Flame Central, we take a look back at some of our favorite stories from 2020.
From a football player coming to America to a horse whisperer with a servant's heart, we celebrate the new year with some of the best stories Flame Central had to offer. And it all starts right now.
What's up? First of all, we're morally obligated to begin the show by wishing you a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Now that we have that out of the way, welcome into a special edition of Flame Central.
We have the whole gang here, Matt, Red, I'm Emily, and knowing these two guys, things are probably going to get a little emotional today.
Yeah, as is our tradition, we like to use the new year as a chance to reflect on some of our favorite stories from the past 12 months. We reminisce, perhaps sing Auld Lang Syne.
Yes.
We'll see where the show takes us.
I'm already starting to feel the waterworks here. Well, where it takes us first, though, is Emily's favorite story from 2020. We gave you the starting nod here.
It's so nice of you. They're treating me so nice, so early in the year. That's a good sign. Well, with us celebrating the first of the year, it's fitting that my favorite story is about another first.
Yeah.
Liberty defensive lineman Ralphs Roosens is the first Latvian to ever play FBS football. Earlier this season, we brought you the story of his unlikely path to college football and the big personality behind the big Latvian.
Stvar kaut ko pateikt, es tagad vispār neko nepateikšu, ko nesaprīšu, ko tu saki.
I want to talk trash all the time. I can talk trash in many languages.
How many?
Like 4.
Don't do that, Damien. We all know how it ends.
I'm a big trash talker when it comes to it on the field.
Oh, you'll find out. You'll find out in a second.
Mostly in Russian, because they don't even know the difference, I would say. Shut your tail up or I'm gonna whoop your tail. Say it in Latvian, be aizen mutni, in Russian, be zaknis.
Davai, puiši. Aiziet. What did it say? No idea. No idea.
Well, I'm from Latvia. It's a country inside of Europe. Like my city that I live in, it's similar to Lynchburg. Like it's a bit low key, but the country has a lot of history. Like the town I'm born in, it's at least 800 years old. Have like 200 something castles, so it's a pretty wild country.
How in the world did Ralphs Roosens end up playing football at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, more than 4,500 miles away from home? The funny thing is, it all started as a joke.
After my youth league basketball ended, me and my dad thought maybe you should like find another sport like to do just to not get fat. And I thought, okay, why not? And then he found out we had a single American football team there. I went there and tried out.
Ralphs admitted he had no clue what he was doing in the tryout.
They said, you're gonna play a defensive line. I was like, okay, cool. So they just told me, I put on the pads and said, just go get the ball. That's basically what I did.
Which impressed the Riga Lions head coach Matt Kessinger, who was no stranger to the game of football.
He was an ex-D2 coach and he moved into the military after 9/11 happened. So somehow he ended up in the American embassy in Latvia. And he just did football. He just did football stuff as his hobby. So he saw me play, I played 3 games. And he said, you should go and try out states. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'll just try it out. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Well, it happened, and here's how. Ralphs and his father searched the internet and found a handful of one-day camps in the Virginia and North Carolina area. Then Ralphs booked a flight to visit America for the first time ever, alone.
We're Europeans, we're all crazy.
Once he landed, he rented a car and went to camp after camp after camp. One of those stops being Liberty. And the rest is history.
I'm the first one here from my country. Nobody has ever played a D1 FBS football from Latvia.
Ralphs wasn't able to bring much to America, but he would bring a skill from home that would help him find success on the football field. The practice of judo.
My first game when I played Coastal Carolina as a defensive lineman, I actually did a judo move on one of the offensive linemen from Coastal Carolina.
And he is driven down.
I did judo for a long time. I did judo since I was 4 years old. And actually, my judo coach was very upset when he found out that I'm going to the States.
His coach's frustration was valid because Ralphs was one of the best in Latvia. He was a member of the Junior Olympics team and a 3-time under-21 Latvian champion.
Judo is a lot about throws and a lot about grips, and a lot about extensions and the way then you fight your opponent the way the way he moves. So you can kind of see that on the defensive lines. It's like a lineman comes to me, like cross off his space, or he goes away, like follow his back, right? I read his hips. It's the same way in judo, all the hand grabbing and grips and everything.
Ralphs Rusens runs him down from behind.
Incorporating judo in his game has been helpful, but Ralphs also has a much better understanding of football.
Rolling off our hand. Down, sit, hit.
Coach Aldridge and Coach Simon just taught me to go football from like, I was a blank page. But everything I know right now, it's all Coach Aldridge, Coach Simons. They just basically changed me as a football player.
There's double smoke too.
Then my field of vision, like how like football works, it's completely changed. I watch film completely differently than the way I did before. It's like night and day. It is exciting because you basically just enter this completely different level of the game. I'll give all the props to them.
He also gives credit to his father. He was the one who pointed him to football after all.
He has always pushed me. Like my dad, I would say he's like my number one person in life. Of course, my mom is always there, but I would just like, my dad has always pushed me and has always supported me. I promised my dad, he said, like, if I make it, like, I'll buy you a Rolls Royce. That's my deal with him at this point.
Now, the young man who has never even been to a football game in which he wasn't playing has his sights set on the biggest stage.
My dream would be to be the first Latvian drafted player. Like, that would be, if I would manage to do that by somehow, I'll be happy. And I hope that there were people be like after me. Football is one of the greatest games ever played. I love everything about it. I love my job, I love what I do in the field. I just think it's a very interesting game, and I hope it will kick up more back home.
And if it does, that credit will probably go to the player who is making history in the game for Latvia.
The sack is Ralphs Rusens. Gets in the backfield, Bix Jr. out of Karnikava, Latvia.
Latvia Mountain of Mayhem, Ralph Rusens.
The Latvian legend.
You know, guys, it's been really fun to watch Ralphs Rusens play because while he's like making a tackle, all I can think about is like these judo moves that he's performing on these opponents.
All I can think about is what's he telling them in some other language. That's
I think
hilarious.
that's what we're all worrying.
It's like educational activity for the opposition.
Right.
I also think, though, obviously an inspirational story, but also it could be seen as a story of hope. So many kids throughout Europe and overseas that may want to play Division I football, not living in a country where it's a hotbed of a sport, but hey, there is still a chance that you could get there and play Division I football just like Ralph's.
Honestly, I don't know if I would book a trip to another country and just
drive
hope
around.
that I get an offer to play my sport. That's pretty cool.
Inspirational story for sure. All right, now on today's show, we're focusing mostly on our favorite in-depth stories like you just saw. But we've also had a lot of fun, goofy pieces during the past year, including our hot seat segments when we asked Liberty football players some hard-hitting questions. Our favorite was when we asked the guys who the best singer on the team was. We know who is not the best singer on this team. Take a look.
Best singer. Me singing in the shower probably won't take it off.
Who sings? I know Trey Sean sings a little bit.
Hey, give me a good song to sing, bro. Ooh. How that sound? Ooh.
I mean, in the shower, I'm the greatest singer alive.
I feel like it would be Peyton, because his voice so high.
I lay my head on my pillow. You got me staring out the window. Ooh.
Yeah, I can sing too.
I don't sing.
Heart been broke so many times high. Been waiting on that sunshine, boy. I think I need it back.
The best singer? Yeah, I think Trey Sean. Singer?
Trey Sean.
Trey Sean.
I believe I can fly. I consider myself a good singer, but, people around me, they continue to hate. I will always love you.
Nah, I can't. I can't lie. I can't do it.
I can't do it. It's like a little Jacquees and Chris Brown mix.
I don't know. I mean, you catch me in the shower, I'm about as good as it gets. I don't know.
I don't want to say it's myself, but I really think it is.
Oh, say, can you see?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Hey, there y'all go. That was free too.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land.
Trayshawn Clark is definitely the best singer on the team.
Trayshawn Clark. I believe I can touch the sky.
Trayshawn Clark.
Trayshawn can sing. Trayshawn can sing for sure. Trayshawn. That's I gotta give it to him.
I think about it every night and day.
It's something like a young Michael Jackson.
I spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can fly.
Don't do it like that. That's it. Oh, the mic. My bad.
Coming up, the story of Liberty's horse whisperer and the servant's heart behind everything he does.
Plus, a coach who's also a father figure to the athletes he impacts. That's when Flame Central returns.
Since 1971, Liberty University has had one mission: training champions for Christ. We've been at this for a while, and in the shadow of the Blue Ridge Mountains, we have grown to be a global force. Today, Liberty runs over 100,000 students around the globe, studying across 15 colleges and schools. And among that, proudly over 30,000 military students and their families. Across 700 programs of study, we train as one: nurses, artists, business leaders of the future and today. Together, we work to give back through service trips, local community work, and over 500,000 volunteer hours per year. And we play just as hard as we study, with 20 NCAA athletic programs and over 40 club sports teams. So, who are we? We are Liberty University, and we train champions for Christ.
Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Flame Central. Today we're taking a look back at some of our favorite stories from 2020. And mine involves an important behind-the-scenes member of the Liberty Equestrian Program. His name is John Eubank, and while his official title may be farm manager, in reality, he's part horse whisperer, part ranch hand, and all-around humble servant.
Whenever I get up in the morning, I can go and look out the window and see the barn lights are on. I know that John's there.
I usually get here around between 5:30 and 6 in the mornings. My focus is to unlock, make sure all the horses are healthy and safe, had a good night. First of all, you glance and make sure that they drank water and they ate the hay, that they're not sickly or laid down. Sometimes they get cast or stuck in the stall, that they're healthy and up, and that's a good night for a horse.
It always blows my mind how much John actually does within the day. He, taking care of the horses, checking on everything, checking on our student workers, making sure that they're good. He also literally spreads manure all across this property, which doesn't sound like it's important, but when you have a growing manure pile, it is crucial to get that thing down. But he is so vital for what we do here.
The main thing that I do is I prepare the rings early in the morning, drag your indoor, outdoor ring, water them, get them prepared for the lessons, the rec lessons, the trail riding lessons, whatever these instructors deem to do for the day. Then I hit a crew up that gets here at 7 in the morning. Their job is pretty much make sure that the horses come in out of the fields, stalls are cleaned, horses are fed and watered. Another group of horses go out for the day, horses are groomed, and then it's off to the grounds, as far as whatever the day dictates, whether it's spreading manure or bush hogging or unloading hay or unloading grain or just,
Come on, buddy.
each day is a little different,
Come on, kid. Come on, man.
It makes your job easier when you're doing a job you like. I love the horses. They have a personality just like people, Some are a little bit more lovable than others. Some you trust a little bit more than others. But you come to know them, the personalities of them, the way they act.
I had an issue with one of the horses who was getting a little bit crazy, and he just came and kind of took the lead from me and was showing me how to calm him down and how to get him to keep going. Anytime we have the horse with a little bit of an attitude, he's always really good with getting there and getting their attitude fixed real quick.
He is such a calm presence. He's so reliable. The horses all like him because he feeds them. And he's just an amazing resource to have at the barn with his experience.
You got to watch a horse and read a horse, and after you fool with them long enough, you read them. I like to go in the stall, or when they come off a trailer, let them smell you a little bit and ease up there, work slow to them and let them rub you and you got to win them over and let them know that you're not going to hurt them. And you got to earn their confidence. And then the relationship grows. It's plenty of work around a farm. You just got to get at it and go at it and start over and do it again the next day. It's just like we did at home. It's always something to do.
Come on, big guy.
I try to set goals in the mornings. When I get up there to bed, my mind's running. I got goals set at home as well as I do on the job. Some days I meet them, some days I don't. And I try to set them high. But if I can come in and I get my work done, everybody's happy, a smile on everybody's face, the instructors, the directors, the kids have a good day, everybody stays on a horse. That's what it's all about.
I have to be honest, guys. I do not think John has worked a day in his life. This is a guy that absolutely loves his job. All of us go through those stretches where our job is mundane and whatnot, but not for him. He is genuinely excited to see those horses each and every day and bring them food. He doesn't have to work.
Really cool story. I love the impact that he's making and just his servant heart. But even more so, I love the gnats, the gnat sounds and everything.
Yeah.
You did a great job editing this feature, the horse sounds, all
what
of that.
you don't know is that was Rhett in our VO booth going. So he was in there all afternoon making horse sounds. Yeah, no, great job, Rhett, by you. Yeah.
All right, well, still to come, he's part coach, part father figure. We introduce you to Liberty softball coach who's making a difference. That's when Flame Central returns.
Welcome to Liberty University's online programs, where living out your calling with integrity is what you train to do, and getting ready for the future doesn't mean missing out on the now. Because a university is more than buildings and books, and an education should set you free, not fence you in. Welcome to Liberty's global campus, where distance learning was pioneered and evolved into one of the top-ranked schools in the nation, where protecting your budget, your time, and your education isn't just a theory, it's our priority. Here, degrees in your field reflect industry demands and help get you ahead of the competition. Where college comes to you, but you can come to college too. Game day, homecoming, graduation day, your school, your values, your experience, your choice. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
What are the moments that stick with you? The ones that take your breath away. Sometimes you find them when you least expect them. You just need the opportunities to pursue. At Liberty University, you can earn a world-class degree and alongside, walk away with memories and experiences that will last a lifetime for all your passions and interests. So what is your dream? Liberty University can ignite it, and your outcome will change the world.
Heroes wear uniforms. You wear your strength, courage, dedication on your sleeve, and your determination on your face. We're honored to help heroes like you with a 25% discount on undergraduate, graduate, or doctoral tuition. No matter how you serve, we're here to serve you.
In 1776, one of the most important documents in our nation's history was penned by one of Virginia's most famous residents. Throughout the next 200 years, the importance of Central Virginia was deeply woven into the tapestry of our nation's history. Liberty University is blessed to be built upon these same historic grounds, furthering the Christian tradition of our founding fathers and training young men and women of character and of calling. At Liberty, you're welcomed into a community rich with history, and we invite you to explore our campus in Central Virginia to discover more than just the surface level. Building upon the tapestry of history, we strive for greatness, humble to be at the heart of where the country began.
Hey, welcome back. On this week's Flame Central, we've been sharing some of our favorite stories from the past year. This next one involves a dad who has taken on a father figure role for more than just his own children. John Cassidy is the volunteer assistant coach for Liberty softball and a difference maker far beyond the diamond.
Well, he worked at UPS, like 5 in the morning he'd leave. And I just remember for as long as I know, he would just come home and he was there and he would just dive in as a dad. He'd take us to the ball field. You know, he was just a really hands-on dad.
You know, personally from home, I grew up without a father. So being that, you know, not knowing what that feeling was like, it was important to me to be a good father.
When it comes to being a good dad to his 4 children, John Cassidy has it down. And the game of softball has only made that bond stronger.
By the time Paige was 8 or 9, I was full into it, coaching fast pitch softball.
He's such a people person. Growing up, everybody in softball called him the mayor because everybody knew him.
It developed a close relationship with me and Paige by me coaching.
After retiring from UPS in 2015, John would have an opportunity to get back on the diamond with his daughter Paige, who was coaching at Liberty with longtime family friend Dot Richardson.
I made the call knowing that his dream was to coach in college and that he was available once when he retired from UPS. I was like, hey, John, now's the time. And he was like, Coach, I'm all in, and he is all in.
John was instantly invested in the development of the team, but he quickly saw a need in the young student athletes off the field that was more important than the game of softball.
Probably my first 2 or 3 months here as a coach. And I was stunned looking back at it that the hurts, when they talked about some of the wounds they had, I just, thought to myself that I don't want to be that stumbling block. I just prayed that I'm not that coach or that, things, my words matter. They're more than players.
That was the moment when John felt a desire to help.
On his own, he brought out this notebook and he said, ladies, I would just love for you to write down anything that you would like as a prayer request. I want to pray for you.
They didn't have to put their name, but that I considered it a privilege and a responsibility to do it.
He wants to get to know them and he wants to fill that need of, what are you struggling with? What can I pray for you for? And it's like this free gift of just someone there to comfort you that's a father figure.
John didn't stop with the journal.
And the one time she shared in October, it was the anniversary of your brother dying.
Through the years, he's hosted Bible studies, learned more about crisis help programs.
If you're transparent sometime and you share something, you may never know that it helps somebody sitting here because they may never say nothing.
And this season,
And can I lose my place in heaven?
he started Chair Time.
We had everybody write down any type of question they had about God. If your belief, if you don't believe, any question you have you want trying answered. And so then we've slowly tried to pick all those off and either through videos and scripture and sharing stuff.
Last week, it was, why does God put bad things in our lives and why did bad things happen? It was on that topic, and Coach John being able to share, and like, he grew up without a dad, and just hearing him say that, it for sure made him who he is today, and like how much of a father figure he is.
By serving, so many times you grow more from it than the person you're trying to help. And so in that, I think I've grown, and probably in the last 2 or 3 years, immensely in my walk, and then maybe in the purpose to share that with players and the desire for them to see that in me.
That desire has become a reality throughout Liberty softball. John is, without a doubt, making an impact.
He puts so much into it. He doesn't have to be here, but he comes every day with a smile on his face, with his Chick-fil-A sweet tea, and he brings so much energy.
I think he's a lot of things that young women need to know a man can be. There's just that father-like aspect to who he is. To the girls, John is evidence that what the Bible promises us and who God can design us to be and shape us to be in his word and through prayer and discipleship, that it exists. And I think John embodies that for them.
We talk about the true leader to follow, it's Jesus Christ, and you see that in what Coach John does. He loves the Lord with all of his heart, and it's really about impacting lives, and he has stepped up in a huge way. Just a God-fearing and loving man.
You know, coaches, a lot of them we see focus so much on the wins and the losses, but I think the best, most impactful coaches are the ones like John Cassidy, the ones that are focused on the athletes, focus on the person, how they can affect them and their lives. And I think that's why he's so beloved in that program.
I think it's awesome, too, that he comes from a family where he didn't have a father figure, and it's not natural for him, right? He's had to decide, I want to be a great dad, and you have so many young ladies coming across the country to the Liberty program that you don't know what their home situation's like, and they have a father figure like him. It goes a long way.
And just a reminder, guys, he's a volunteer coach.
Right.
He does not have to be here, so just really, really neat what he's doing with Liberty softball.
Emily's a volunteer here, too, so no, not really. Hey, we're about out of time. We thank you so much for watching. You can find all our great content at libertyflames.com. Click on that Flames Central button. Real quick, New Year's resolution, anything?
Only look at my dog camera 10 times a day.
Oh, boy, that's me too, for her, because she shows it to everybody.
Okay, well, that's good enough for me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.